Hey guys, this is Impact Hall of Famer Gail Kim, and you are watching the Countdown City WrestleCast.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City.
Whoa, wait.
What?
I'm cashing in.
Oh, God.
Whoa,
Shit.
Tina, I cannot let you do this again
What?
because I'm cashing
shit.
in.
Oh.
That's a big briefcase.
Yeah.
All right, heels and baby faces, welcome to the Countdown City WrestleCast.
Can we even see Tina?
I don't think we...
All right, fine. It's
Hi
cashed
guys,
in.
I'm over here.
But I'm hosting
Oh.
today from my spot because this is where I want to be. So, welcome to the WrestleCast.
Yeah, mine was too small.
so
Even though
I
I
gotta
am
give me a
hosting,
briefcase.
hashtag and Mike, we still have the usual crew with us today. So, former host, he'll probably be back next week.
Damn.
We still got JC,
Hey, everybody.
his
So
wife
good.
Tina,
Hi guys.
and of course, Texas's biggest wrestling fan, Tommy.
Proud to have that
I
title.
agree with that.
All right.
All right.
Hang on.
Jason,
Before we get started,
Whoa.
I got a surprise for you guys.
I mean, this is what I want to happen. That's
Yeah.
right.
And look at it this way, JC. You didn't get knocked out
Who are you
this time.
calling?
Hope he answers.
Hope he answers.
I mean, I thought I was hosting, but sure.
Well, you know, writing.
Please answer. Oh, there he is.
It was a rewrite.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. Welcome to the WrestleCast, everybody. The world's largest cruiserweight, massive.
Hey! What up, fam?
Hi.
What's going on, man?
Yeah. On the line, massive. We got, you know me, JC. We got my wife, Tina.
Hi.
Right? Hi, how are you guys doing?
Good. We got Mike, and of
Mike.
course, I'm pretty sure you know who Tommy is.
I think he knows who I am.
I think so too.
I wanted to surprise you guys. We had been just sending links to the GoFundMe really on the previous shows that
Yeah.
Get Well Soon, massive. You did an interview recently with Tacos and Tap Outs, and it's great to hear your voice again. And I was just wanting to know if you wanted to give us a quick update on how you're doing, how things are going for you.
Everything's every day is a step in the right direction. It's getting better and better.
Mhm.
I had my first match back May the 3rd. So I mean, it's I'm sorry, May the 4th. So I mean, things are getting better day by day. Hitting the gym every day. And yeah, I mean, it's all good. I mean, I have nothing to complain about. I got a second chance, and I'm gonna try to do everything I can with it.
That's awesome.
That is awesome, man.
It's so cool.
We're all very happy to hear that, man.
Yes.
So
For sure.
Thank you, guys.
yeah. So what's next for you? When are you coming back through San Antonio?
I really don't know yet. I think in July with BOW is my next date in San Antonio,
Nice.
and that's pretty much it. I mean, Clint's really the only guy I probably work with over there. I heard there's a new promotion, LAW.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna see what happens. I got some unfinished business with a couple of the wrestlers there, so
Oh boy.
who knows? I might just pop up whenever I want because there's
Usually-
nobody that can hold me down but me.
Yeah,
right.
that's absolutely
We
true.
do.
That's awesome.
It is good you're back on your feet, man. For anyone out there that wants to hear the full interview, go check out Tacos and Tap Outs. They did a great interview. At times, not safe for work because you and Gerald the Great just go at it. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
a lot of massive promos were not safe for
No.
work. And
Yeah.
that's because I
Yeah,
That's the fun of it.
more like Gerald the Penguin, you know. Yeah, I gotta give him crap because of it. He's
Yeah.
a good dude and all, but it wouldn't be fun if I didn't give that little globe some love here and there.
Wow.
Love it. Well, hey, good to hear from you.
Oh, man.
Stay
Yeah, that
healthy,
was good,
man.
man.
Look forward to seeing you more and more back in the ring, and maybe down the line we can try and get you on this for a little interview to see how things are going. So
Absolutely.
we'd love to.
That'd be awesome, man. Anytime. It's an honor and a pleasure to be on the show. I greatly appreciate you guys calling me and trust me, this is going to be a big year for me. I've been working my butt off, and we'll see what happens.
We're looking
Awesome.
forward to it,
Yes.
man.
Best of
Can't wait.
Best of luck.
Thank you, man. We appreciate
All
it.
right, man.
Bye.
You guys
Thanks for
take
calling.
care. Thank you for everything.
Thanks. See you later, Master.
Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Wanted to surprise you guys. I
That was
actually
really
set
cool.
that up
That was awesome.
last week for y'all.
No
That's-
wonder you've been texting him. I was
Yeah.
like, who are you talking to? And he's
I,
all like
uh,
massive, and I'm like, why?
It was.
Why not?
Not gonna
Well,
lie.
I didn't know
No,
what
I know,
exactly
just
what.
Yeah, of course.
He did the interview with Tacos and Tap Outs. It was great. It was hilarious. It's good to hear his voice.
Yeah, it was really
and
cool.
I just texted him, talked to him briefly after that, and kind of wanted to give you guys a surprise. We had mentioned him, like I said, on the show. Get well
Should have
soon.
knew this was coming.
Yes. So
Yeah. I'm just glad that
All
Mike
the signs,
didn't. I'm
Mike.
just
It's all
glad
the
that-
signs.
I'm glad Mike didn't knock you out with the briefcase before. I mean,
Yeah, I
you
know
would've
that.
had
Yeah,
to
we
do
would
it.
have gotten that awesome. All right, so this was a civil cash-in, okay? This is a civil one.
Like Rob
go
Van
ahead,
Dam.
Mike. You're running the
This
race.
is-
Wait.
This is Rob Van Dam giving the week's notice.
Are you trying to say that mine was not civil?
I mean, you
You
did cause
you
injury.
give him a
so
near
I
concussion.
did not. No, I did not. He
Okay,
was
maybe not.
fine.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
he was
fine
I'm
now.
all right.
After a
He
week of
loves
frozen
me.
peas.
I do. We're still
It's
married.
fine.
We're still happy.
Yay.
All right.
Always.
Yay,
I hit him with
married.
the tiny
Always and
lunchbox.
forever.
If Mike would have hit him with that briefcase, it would not have gone well.
That's
So how
true.
did you come across that briefcase?
Actually, and that's one of the reasons I wasn't on the last two episodes. I was actually down in Rio de Janeiro. I won that in a very prestigious tournament. Yeah, so that's where I was.
Yeah, so
that's why I
no,
wasn't
you know,
on the
I don't know why.
episodes.
Wait, I don't know why I'm laughing. I totally remember that tournament. I heard.
Yeah, no,
that,
it-
I heard.
that-
I heard.
that
Pit-
was
I heard.
very
I heard.
familiar.
Pentagon was there.
Yeah.
Ray Phoenix, dude, you were killing it in that
You
tournament.
should go. They have a monument to the first Intercontinental Championship tournament.
So what was your
Uh,
ring name?
Huh?
What was your ring name?
Hashtag M Mike.
Yeah. The math major.
That's
And you
nice.
guys
Yeah.
can check it out online. It's online right now. Believe me, this website actually exists. It's www.myspace// .com. Totally exists.
Okay.
.org.
Sure.
I don't know if Tommy's making that up or
I'm
not.
gonna
I'll have to go
look
look that up.
Do it.
All right, Mike. Sorry to interrupt your hosting duties, but I hope it was
Yeah, I
a
know.
good surprise for everybody.
Can I
That's
host
okay.
now?
No, that's all right. Just wait till we get to the 1 minute warning.
Oh boy.
Oh, God.
All right, Mike. Go
Did
for
I
it.
mean the 10-minute warning? All right. So before we
JC
go
sometimes.
on,
Yeah.
don't forget to follow us on Twitter at ccg_WrestleCast and follow us on the YouTube channel at the Countdown City Geeks, where you find us every week or most weeks
I don't know where
doing
it is.
videos here. Oh, yeah.
We're reporting everywhere
Yeah,
now.
right.
Wait,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to point.
I
You're the
can't-
host.
Exactly. I do what I want. No. All right.
Well, I'm
so-
telling you, kid. No, I'm kidding.
All right, so this show we're mainly going to be running down the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which is coming up this
Woo,
Sunday,
woo.
and then
Man, so
we'll hit a few other news items after.
So
that.
weird that it's in May.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
It is
not
a
used to
little
this
bit
at all.
weird.
It's gonna
It's
be
so-
May.
So we'll start with the matches we have listed and that we've seen through SmackDown because we may get to this later, but the Raw and SmackDown this week were overseas. And actually, the results were out before they showed on the evening.
That's like the beauty of the London shows. Is
That really is,
We can
yeah.
just read it
Yeah.
before it airs, and we know what's gonna happen.
And determine whether or not it's worth watching.
Yeah. Right.
All right.
Your
so
results may vary on that.
All right.
We start on the preview show or the pre-show with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. What a shock!
Yeah.
But Daniel Bryan and Rowan, the champions, versus the Usos. And JC, you get to start.
I could start. Well, first of all, how crazy is it that Daniel Bryan goes from being one of the main events at WrestleMania
I was just
for a
man.
championship to a pre-show the very next month?
That's what I was about to
Yeah.
say too.
Yeah.
And even
Not
even
surprising, but
even before that, do you think the Hardy injury is at work or is he legit hurt?
I think he's legit.
I
I think it's legit.
legit,
Hurt.
yeah.
I think
Okay.
he is, Yeah.
That just seemed like
with his
completely out of
style.
nowhere. Yeah. I'm going with Daniel Bryan and Rowan to retain here. They just got the titles. I feel like they're really going to build them up as a big heel tag team, make everybody chase.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I think even if Daniel Bryan is a little hurt, they're going to probably have Rowan do most of the work
okay.
that night.
I can
And
believe that.
putting them on pre-show is an easy way for that for them to do that. So
Yeah. Tommy?
Man, I wish I could say Usos, but I'll go Daniel Bryan and Rowan because the booking right now is just. How do you come on such a high of WrestleMania and then within weeks you torpedo everything?
But yeah,
I mean, I hate to be that guy, but no, I don't. I'm lying. I'd love to be that guy. New Japan had Wrestle Kingdom and like are still running hot because you don't know what the freak is going on anymore with that company, and I love that. But okay, sorry, I rant over.
You know, and I'm going to go ahead and go with the clean sweep of Brian and Rowan, but I think Tina might be right. Like they might be using this as a chance to kind of protect Daniel Bryan.
I guess.
Assuming there was the legit injury that was apparently reported after WrestleMania. So, you know, it keeps him on the title. It sucks having him on the pre-show, of course. But it might be a way to kind of not hide him in the tag team, but not make him have to do everything.
But there's so many ways to keep him on TV and not have him actually wrestle.
Oh, I agree.
On the plus side,
Sorry.
the Cruiserweights won't be on the pre-show.
Please, God.
They probably will be.
I hope not.
I was
hope
like,
not.
I was like, you just
Because
jinxed them.
do you not know
Oh,
how many
jeez.
pre-shows they have? They have usually 2 or 3 matches.
They keep,
Hope, man.
So
I don't
the
know.
second one's probably going to be the Cruiserweight.
they keep shooting.
And
the
don't
Cruisers in the
forget,
foot.
WrestleMania pre-show for next year has already started. So.
It's true.
Yeah.
According to kayfabe news.
I mean,
that's
the
right.
only other thing that they could put on,
Ah,
they really can't put anything else
don't
on
jump
pre-show.
ahead. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Everything else is a championship besides that one. I mean,
Maybe the U.S. title.
well, maybe the
Maybe.
U.S. title, but I don't think
Maybe
so.
this next match that we have listed here.
Oh,
Roman
yeah,
Reigns
right.
versus
That's
Alex.
doubtful.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and start this one. Roman
for it.
Reigns.
Roman
What
Reigns.
else would you do?
Yeah.
Same.
All right.
Your
Yeah,
phone-
I'm
take
going
your
with
phone off the
Roman
table.
too. I know. No, all right, keep going, Tommy.
I'm lone wolfing this. I'm saying Elias.
Elias.
Shenanigans?
I'm saying shenanigans. I'm calling. Oh, absolutely shenanigans. Yeah, straight up. Elias against Roman. Hell no. No, I'm saying shenanigans all day long on this match. So I'm definitely going with. I think Elias is going to win, but it's going to be a shenanigan-filled type of evening. Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody got their picking on that?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Third match we have here is The Miz versus Shane McMahon in a steel cage match.
Why is this feud so much fun?
So-
I wasn't expecting that. I'm actually liking this feud.
Tommy,
Yeah.
you started. Go for it.
Okay. I want to say the Miz. I think the Miz is going to win this one. After, well, you know, I mean, I think there will be shenanigans. This match, this whole feud reminds me of when Shane challenged. Well, almost. I was going to say everybody, but in particular, like when he challenged like Steve Blackman for the Hardcore title, and when he was insulting Kurt Angle every left, right, and sideways, which led to their stellar King of the Ring match. By the way, I love that match. It's so absurdly crazy.
And brutal.
Yeah, and Shane got knocked out, I think, at least twice.
Yeah.
But this has that kind of feel to it. I think there are going to be shenanigans, but I think this is going to be where the Miz pulls it out and wins.
All right. JC, we'll just go down the line.
The way the booking has gone recently, I feel like any McMahon is going over. And so I'm taking Shane.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I want the Miz to win this,
You're not
especially
wrong.
'cause he
That's
didn't-
fair, though.
Okay, the WrestleMania match that they had and the finish was, BS. I get that, but it's just. First of all, this show is in Connecticut. It is in her Connecticut.
Oh,
I
for
can't
Can't change it,
yeah.
Tommy. Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm going with Shane just for that reason too.
I'm ride or die the Miz.
Miz, I had a feeling you would be.
JC, I think you're going to lone wolf this one because I think I'm
fine.
going to go with The Miz. And you're probably right because that's exactly the way things seem to be going now. But you've got to give Miz one. Like, he's got to get one in there.
I mean, he lost in front of his dad. Shane could lose in Connecticut.
And apparently, Shane injured his dad.
Did he really?
Like, did
legit?
you hear that? Apparently, he broke a rib or something.
Yeah, he broke
Wow.
a
Oh,
rib.
God.
Like the
No
whole
idea.
in-ring thing from WrestleMania supposedly wasn't even supposed to happen. They just kind of ad-lib. That's the report I read. That he just
Jeez
kinda,
Louise.
Miz,
What a hell of a night! He became a meme and he broke a rib.
that Shane just told him follow my lead and then like brought him into the ring. So
Wow. All right.
Well, what do we become immortal?
Yep.
All right. So next match we have the Cruiserweight Championship.
Please,
with,
God, let this be on the main show.
Champion Tony Nese
Pre-show.
versus Arya Daivari.
Probably will be.
Tina, what do you got?
I'm gonna say Tony he's gonna keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have any say. I don't really watch it, and I'm sorry.
All right.
I should make time to watch it, but I don't.
JC.
Yeah, Tony Abb just keeping this one. Yeah, Tony Abs. I said Tony Abs.
Same
that's
thing.
like the funniest thing Enzo Amore said when he was on.
Yeah, it was
TV.
like one of the few things that he did that was actually good.
You know, it's new. This guy, I mean, he built up to get that title. He better keep it for a good while. I
Yeah.
think Daivari will eventually be the one to take it off of him, but
Right.
I think this is Tony Nese's title for a good run. So
Yeah. Tommy?
Yeah, I'm going with Tony Nese as well. I don't know. It seems like all the time they spent chasing it, and nothing against Daivari. I just don't think he's going to lose it that soon.
Right.
But I think he spent so much time chasing it, overcoming Buddy Murphy, who seemed like unstoppable at that time, and so I just think he's going to be the one to take it. And honestly, I don't think Daivari's going to be the one to take it off of him. If anything, I think Buddy Murphy might get a second run, and then Daivari might take it off of him. Maybe.
I thought Murphy
What
got called
about
up though.
ACH,
Albert
yes.
Hardy Jr.
Jr.
Albert Hardy
He
Jr.
hasn't officially been put on the 205 roster yet.
Not yet.
No.
Oh,
Well,
But
he wasn't-
he's been doing like dark matches with NXT, right?
Right.
Yeah,
He
he
hasn't
has.
even gotten it on the NXT TV
I don't
show.
think so,
No, not yet.
Yeah.
No, I mean, maybe you're right. I don't think he has been on the TV show yet. No.
No.
Okay, but yeah, Tony Nese.
That would be my hope.
All right, and I'm going to finish off the sweep again, thinking Tony Nese is going to keep it. I mean,
Nice.
no reason to change it this
So
quickly.
predictable,
so.
WWE.
All right, next match, another championship match, United States Championship. The champion, Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio, with his son involved. I'm going to go on a limb, and I'm going to call Rey Mysterio for a win here. Not that I don't think Joe is deserving. He's been a great champ, but I kind of feel like they're gonna pull something with that. So
Same.
Yeah.
I was telling JC this yesterday how they're building up the whole thing with his son and everything like that. I feel like he's gonna win it, and I guess do something with the fact that his son's gonna be there.
Yeah.
I believe. So I'm picking Rey Mysterio.
Anybody
6'1".
else feel old? Because the last time I saw his son on TV was the whole "I'm your puppy"
Yeah.
storyline. Man.
Okay, thank God it wasn't
And
just me
I was
because
just like, man, and then he
because-
thought his son. I was like, no way, that's his son. He's taller than him.
He's
Thank-
taller than him.
thank-
Like
okay,
way taller.
But seriously, thank God you brought that up because I was
Yeah.
like seriously thinking that like the first time they introduced him, I was like, there's no freaking way that's Dominic.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
But in all fairness, even in that angle, when with the I'm your poppy, he wasn't that far from being taller than him then. So I mean,
No,
that's
it's true.
actually a good.
That segues into me
How tall
thinking
is
that
the-
Joe's going to win and say, "I'm your daddy now."
How tall
well, I
is
can
his
see that
wife?
too.
Huh?
How tall is his wife?
I don't know.
6'5". No,
His wife, I think his wife is a little bit taller than him. If I
That might
remember
be
right.
why.
Who knows?
That might be
I
why.
do think Joe's going to retain, and I don't know if they're going to continue the storyline, but if this is how they're getting his son, I know his son's been training, or he's been training his son. I wonder if his son's going to get into the performance center. Who knows? I don't know how old his son is now.
I remember hearing
He's
an
gonna
old
interfere, JC.
for Joe.
For Joe.
Yeah.
That would be crazy as hell.
Yeah.
That would be wrestling actually.
At this point, I don't think Ray needs the title. Not that
I got
they can't have
you,
a
but-
bad match, but this is like a redemption match, I think. you could say.
Yeah.
I feel like they haven't done much with Samoa Joe though either, so I feel like
Yeah,
True.
that's true. I did read though that his son had been training down in Florida with I forgot who it was down there, but he's been training for a while, so I wouldn't be surprised if they get him into the performance center and have him
Yeah.
start.
Booyaka Junior.
Booyakita.
Not even Rey Mysterio Jr.
No.
Booyaka Jr.
El Booyakita.
All right.
Booyakito.
Booyakito, excuse me. I don't have enough alcohol to get my Spanish right. Tommy, your
I don't
pick.
know. I'm just saying.
Oh, did we all get our picks?
I'm going with Joe.
Okay.
So I just sorry.
Stop laughing, make your pick.
Tinaism.
It's been a while.
It's been
You
a
know
while.
what? I'm going with Joe and let's move on. I can't get it out
All
anyway.
right. Fair enough. Moving on. The next we have first of two Money in the Bank matches.
All right.
And it's the women's match. We have Natalya, Dana Brooke, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Bailey, Mandy Rose, Ember Moon, Carmella.
Bobby Joe, Seeley.
JC, do you just want to get your Alexa Bliss pick out of the way
Well,
so we can move on?
Yeah, just go.
First of all, does anyone else think Nikki Cross is going to get involved in this somehow?
Yes.
The way what
Yes.
happened on
That was
Raw?
like literally the
So
first thing that
Alexa's
came
not
out.
gonna win. That's why I feel like she's not gonna win.
Yeah. First of all,
Watch Nikki Cross get win.
Somehow, yeah.
my gut instinct says that Ember Moon is going to win this. But this goes back to the way crap has been booked recently in WWE. And I feel like for whatever reason, they love having a heel as the Money in the Bank briefcase holder.
Yeah.
I think the sentimental favorite is going to be Dana Brooke because she's worked so hard
Yeah.
to get up
She's
there.
really
true.
got that
That's
back
true.
in recently.
But
I even see them giving it to Mandy Rose too, because you're saying a heel.
I'm going back and forth between Alexa and Mandy Rose, and only because
so you are thinking like a McMahon.
Yeah,
Or Corey Graves.
or Corey.
I'm going back and forth between Mandy and Ember.
Yeah, and only because Alexa won it last year, and again that whole Nikki Cross thing. I think Mandy Rose is going to be the one to win it this year. So even though I am wearing the Alexa shirt, and I wouldn't mind seeing her win it twice in a row, I think Mandy's going to be the one.
That's the only thing reason I don't want Alexa to win. Is jeez.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and pick Ember Moon.
Okay.
Just because we've had the first champion or the first two champions be a blonde, third champion be a blonde. Hopefully, it's not another blonde.
Okay,
Lead
well,
somebody
yeah.
else different. Besides the fact that they were supposed to originally push Ember to be at WrestleMania, supposedly to wrestle Asuka,
Mhm.
and that never happened because she got hurt. So I'm hoping now they'll push her. So we'll see.
All right.
Tommy?
This is tough, isn't it?
This one is actually legitimately tough.
Yeah.
It is.
My
This is kind of a wild card.
my sentimental pick would be Dana Brooke because I just think that
She deserves it.
well, to me she's like almost in the same way like Alicia Fox. Give her something. Jeez.
Yeah.
Of all the
Yeah.
crap they've had to put up with over the years and literally be there the longest and everyone else go ahead of them.
Exactly.
And to me, okay, wrestling's not always about who's been the longest getting their chance. I mean, getting like title shots and everything. I know because of the whole Kofi Kingston thing, but I'm not just saying people who just been there have done nothing. Dana Brooke has been put up with crap storyline after crap storyline, legitimate tragedy in her life while still under contract and having to work through that. Unfortunate injuries, all this crap and everything like that. So that she's my sentimental pick. My head is saying, oh sweet Jesus, not Mandy Rose. I just don't think she's ready. I really don't. Just shut up. Honestly, can I just go with a wild card pick here?
Yes.
Sure.
I'm saying Nikki Cross. I'm legitimately picking Nikki
So
Cross.
you think Nikki's gonna?
I
get
think
involved,
Nikki's gonna get
replace somebody or get added?
replace somebody. I
Okay,
think Nikki
so-
Cross is gonna replace somebody and get because. And the reason I'm saying that is because the bit of Raw I did watch, and I haven't watched much of Raw lately.
Right there with you.
Yeah,
Was yesterday.
there's
So-
the ratings, people.
So when Alexa Bliss was talking to Nikki Cross, she was like completely normal for like 30 seconds.
about that, yeah.
And then like when she got to the ring went completely insane. I like that. I like the split personality Nikki Cross. And I
Yeah.
thought I already loved her as crazy Nikki Cross. I was like, "Oh wait, she has dual personalities?" Yes. Yes, give me all that insanity. So,
That's way better than the whole Festus storyline thing. Remember that years ago?
Yeah.
can you believe that that's Luke Gallows?
I know.
Crazy, right?
He looks older then than he does now.
I
That's
know.
The best part.
And the funny part was, someone had to tell me that was actually Festus.
Right.
I didn't know it, and so someone told me, like, you know, it's Festus. Where I was like, shut the hell up! There's no way. I was like, oh my god, that is the same guy.
CM Punk saved him. Straight
Yeah.
Edge Society.
That's
Yep.
true.
All right. I'm going to think with my heart and not my McMahon, and I'm going to ride or die with Ember Moon.
I'm not riding with the grapefruits.
Because I would love to see her. She's come back. She gets a pretty big. I mean, I think a pretty decent. You still like that?
great phrase.
It-
I'm thinking with my heart,
Does-
not Mike McMahon.
Does anyone still think that every major pay per view, Vince goes out and says, "Where's Flo Rida? Damn it! Why isn't Flo Rida performing?"
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay, next one.
All right, then. On to the men's Money in the Bank.
It's a great show.
The second match.
I'll go first since these two are clashing it for
Oh man, you didn't give me a chance to go. I was actually gonna do you next and be like, do you want to go first and get your Randy Orton pick out of the way?
Sad to say, I'm not going to pick him.
Okay, so real quick, before
I'm not like JC who just picks him every single time.
What is it with you two
What's
not
your
picking
point?
who I'm expecting? Oh wow!
hold on, I will let you go first, but just real quick, the participants are Sami Zayn, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, Ali, Finn Balor, Andrade, Randy Orton. Go.
All right, so again, I'm going to pick with my heart and not with my McMahon either. I'm going to go with my gente Andrade.
Oh, okay.
Good
I like that.
choice.
Me
That's
and-
great. This
Okay.
was pretty wide open. So
Okay,
It
can I
is.
real quick? Can I just mention that I'm so far behind? I forgot like half these guys were even in this.
well, first of all, they announced
Dang.
this weeks ago, and then Sammy just took Braun Strowman's spot last night.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So-
true. That's true.
Well, a night and a half ago because it was
All right.
already taped.
So
Um,
Yeah, well, yeah. So
I just feel like I feel like none of the other. I mean, no, I know everybody's probably thinking, oh, Drew McIntyre, but I feel like if you want somebody who's kind of new, and he kind of sometimes does that. He picks random people. Like one time when he picked Baron Corbin that one time, and he didn't win, but that was like so random. I feel like if you want to go with someone different who nobody would expect, Andrade is the one. Sammy, some people would expect because he's this big heel thing right now. Ricochet, some people might expect because he's super athletic. Drew McIntyre, people very much expect because he's kind of the big guy now left. Baron Corbin, no. Ali, he's kind of like this underdog story. Finn Balor's already a champion, so he usually doesn't give it to already champions. And then Randy's kind of in the air. He just wrestles people randomly,
and just killed it on social media lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
actually he has.
And it's nothing bad against him because he puts a lot of people over. Good.
Right, yeah, no, he does.
So I just feel like, to me, Andrade makes the best choice for me.
Yeah.
And it makes the most sense.
I like it. I'm going to keep it simple and just go Drew McIntyre. I like you said, I do think they like heels. I think he's ready for a push, and that would be a perfect way to do it.
Finally, the whole chosen one thing from years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JC?
Well, first, please, I don't think Corbin or Orton, they've already won it before. And the heel thing, I've been back and forth between Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn getting at it has been interesting, and I think I'm going to go with Sami Zayn. Only because right now I feel like he's the one guy drawing the most heat on television. He's getting the reaction. His promos have been great, whether that's being fed to him, he's going off the cuff, or as one report that we might talk about later, he's basically what McMahon is really wanting to say. He's feeding it through Sami Zayn. So I feel like it's going to be Sami Zayn that wins this one. And yeah.
So far, all three of us have picked heels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that seems to be the pattern.
Tommy,
is a heel too.
what do you got?
I'm going Drew McIntyre, but for another reason.
Okay.
Maybe he is the obvious pick, but at the same time, I feel like they've been kind of building this up for a while now. Like him to kind of take that top heel spot. And also, for the love of God, I think he deserves it. I am okay.
Oh yeah, he does.
I'm a Drew McIntyre, Drew Galloway, Drew whatever the freak his
Three-man
last
band
name.
fan?
I actually was a three-man band fan. I actually thought that was a great Job Squad gimmick, and I was all for it. But but I was like, okay, so I'm of this opinion of three-man band. Heath Slater is still over whenever he comes out. Jinder Mahal has won the championship. Yeah, exactly.
Which was not my favorite, but go ahead.
Well, yeah, he was nobody's. Well, he was my favorite because it pissed off the internet so much, and I loved that.
It was just boring to me. I don't know.
It was, but I love that the whole internet for like a day.
I wasn't mad. I was just bored.
I love that for like a day, the internet when Jinder Mahal won lost its utter shit, and I was like, that is the greatest win that I could.
No, hold on. The internet lost its mind. The Indian commentary when he won.
Okay, that's true. That's a good point.
That's true.
That
really
title
true.
win is so much
That's
better with
hilarious.
Indian commentary.
It actually really is.
Right
Yeah, that's a good point. But no, Drew McIntyre has been all this build up and everything. I just think he should win it because let him win the belt, win the Money in the Bank, then win the belt the cheap way and declare himself the ultimate champion. Say, oh, I won it. This. Like, no, you cheated. You won it literally after the guy was beat down. Like, go for the whole.
And maybe he could knock Corbin off as like the big heel that they're trying to push as like
Corbin
in every other segment.
Corbin could be the big heel if he just changes his attire.
Yeah,
You know,
but he's
that's
got
part
to
of
go
it.
bartend at Applebee's afterwards.
Yeah.
So
He's got a
he's
hall
running
pass.
2 jobs.
That's true.
I'm just saying that night is going to be the night of the Latinos.
I'm
Rey
going
Mysterio
with
and Andrade.
Yeah.
Just saying.
In the Northeast, that's risky, but
It is.
all right.
Before we move on, does anybody think that whoever wins is going to cash in that night?
I doubt it.
No, I don't think they're
I
going to do that
want to
this
say
year.
a woman's going to cash in, but I don't think so.
Although, actually,
that's a good point.
Because I was, before we get on to the next thing, kind of leads into that. So let me just confirm this because I haven't watched everything recently. There's 2 separate matches, right?
There are
Yes,
two separate
separate
matches.
matches.
Okay,
For
so
Becky Lynch.
actually,
We don't
maybe-
know. We don't know which one's first. We don't know which one's second. We don't know
Right.
if they're like how many matches apart they are. Nothing.
Right.
To be fair, the order I put it here is the order I think it's going to happen.
I do too. I was just going to say that
Yeah.
the way it was written. So
Oh.
we have
That's fair.
2 women's championship matches because, of course, it's
Back to
Becky
back.
2 belts
Yep.
with both belts. So we'll start with the Raw Women's Championship match, which is Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans. And I'm going to start this one just because
You mispronounced Charlotte Flair.
Well, they're twins. You can't tell them
That's
apart.
true.
It's funny.
Twin magic.
Wow.
Because I actually agree with you, and I just want to steal the thunder because I'm hosting. But no, I think this match would go first, and I think Becky's going to retain this one.
All right.
Okay.
Same.
Tina, me as well. Nothing against Lacey Evans. I love the heel. I love the gimmick.
I love her wrestling when she gets to.
Yeah. She's actually really good.
She's really good, but she's still very green.
Yeah,
Right.
true.
And her banter on social media is perfect.
Yes.
Because she's not fully acknowledging what Becky says. She sticks to her character on social media.
That's cool.
She's a
Especially on Twitter.
lady.
Yeah, which is awesome. So
And
it's
kind of
like
hot.
it's-
but-
Avengers just came out. It's like that evil Peggy Carter kind of look to her, that sort of thing.
You made it hotter just now. You really did.
Or you're just saying she looks like a okay.
She has that sort of like Peggy Carter look.
No, I
but
got
like
you.
a heel attitude.
I thought you were saying there was an evil Peggy Carter. No. And I was like, which movie did you? Okay, all right.
That's the alternate timeline
Yeah,
where
I guess
so.
Matt goes Hail
That's
Hydra.
another one.
Spoiler alert.
By the way, we are allowed to spoilers now, right? Because it's
that they said
been
spoil away.
It's been like a
May
month
6th
almost.
May 6th was that they lifted it. So
Okay, yeah, just
Far
saying.
From Home trailer is out.
all right. So Tommy,
Yeah, sure.
finish this up.
Becky.
Okay. So
For
then,
literally the reasons everyone else said.
Yeah.
now that leads us into the second match you'll have to do. It's the SmackDown Women's Championship, and that's Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. Someone want to start this one because I have thoughts.
I'm.
Oh, go ahead. No, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Okay, I'll
Tommy,
start.
go.
Okay. I'm going to say Becky again, and
Okay.
here's how I think she's going to win. Honestly, in my mind, I see a Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle WrestleMania 20 thing in my head, where Charlotte runs to the ring, and she like just snatches her up real quick and like uses her feet to hook.
Can
her.
she lose her boot?
I was about to ask that question.
Dude? Oh, that would be great if she did. I'm sorry. That was like one of my favorite WrestleMania matches.
That was
like,
a great
That was
match.
such
It
a
really
great
was.
match, and the finish was fantastic
Yeah.
because it was just so great. I'm sorry, I can talk about that match all day, but no, that's how I see this happening. Is like, especially if Lacey works her over, then Charlotte runs in, tries to pin her real quick. I just see like Becky turning it over and then using the ropes for leverage, and then running off with both belts. And still be Becky 2 belts. That's just my feelings. Yeah, feelings on that. Sorry.
I agree. I want Becky's gonna win again, and I feel like if you have her lose one or both, that would just be so dumb to after all this huge buildup. And the whole point of it is it's supposed to make her look like this big, huge, big,
Star.
champion
Yeah.
and star, and you have her on the poster.
It's a
right?
great poster,
The
by the
poster's
way.
awesome.
Yeah.
And
Great
to have
poster. I
her
love it.
lose to one or the other, especially after they've been called the twins and they look alike, I just don't see it. I see the only way that she would lose it sooner or later would be someone cashing in. I don't think anybody's going to cash in that night.
A cash in would make more sense though.
A cash in would make more sense in the
Yeah.
sense that, for example, if this was the order, I would actually think that if it was the other way, like Charlotte and her were first, she pinned Charlotte, and then she's wrestling Lacey, and Charlotte comes out, causes some shenanigans of some kind,
Shenanigans.
and Becky's down for the count. Lacey's about to pin her, and someone comes in and cashes in and like drops Lacey, and then.
Yeah, I can see
Yep.
that.
But I don't see that happening. I feel like it's going to be the order that it's here, like you said. So,
Okay.
my opinion.
JC?
Whether
hope-
it's Lacey being pissed off and coming in to force DQ or
That
Becky
too.
getting a pin, Becky's going to win the match. But either way, I think Becky afterward is going to get beat down either by Lacey Evans and or Charlotte. And my Money in the Bank pick, Mandy Rose, will cash in and steal the title.
So she's going to fight 3 blondes that night.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
You can't fight the blonde power.
Wait,
Damn
which
it.
one is she on? Is she on SmackDown or
Mandy
Raw?
Rose is on SmackDown.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it plays into my thing where I think the SmackDown title. Now,
So
obviously, if the roles are reversed, either way,
I'm over here like,
if Charlotte loses, whoever wins can challenge for either title, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
but I think she'll lose a SmackDown title that night. But I think Becky's going to win the actual match one way or another.
I can't believe I'm going to do
I
this.
disagree.
I think I'm going to have to think with my McMahon here. I think they want Becky on Raw.
That's awesome.
I think Vince has gone too long already without his big, tall, blonde champion.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be through legitimate means, but I think if the Raw match happens first, I think Charlotte's going to find a way to beat her in the second one.
Okay.
Take it to SmackDown, separate the belts again. I don't want it to happen, and I hate going against Becky. I think, especially stuff we're going to get into later, I think Vince is having like a panic attack that he doesn't have his tall blonde champion. Even though they're joking about it on TV, I think it's legit. So.
I sadly,
Yeah,
I,
it doesn't
I,
it
I
doesn't get
sadly
across
see your
TV
point.
without Vince's approval. So
Yeah.
I think
Exactly.
also if Becky wins both, you could legitimately put Lacey and Charlotte in a tag team and make them tag team champions.
Good.
You could.
Hollywood Blondes Part 2.
I'm just saying.
I'd buy the shirt.
I'm just saying. They're very much alike.
They're both
I
from the
mean-
South.
And then they do exactly what you say, and they do like Bella twin magic.
Yeah,
Oh
they
my
could totally
God.
Just
do
as
that.
a joke.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds stupid to say that, but it's true. And then,
The
I
Southern
mean,
Bells.
everybody probably is like.
Oh, that actually would be a good.
The
name.
crazy thing is, I think everyone's blaming maybe all the champions, especially probably Becky, because Becky's the female champion for both brands right now because of the ratings. No, it has nothing to do with her.
You can't blame
And
the
it has
champions
nothing-
They're bad
for
because
it.
they're shit storylines.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it
It's
has
the
nothing to
product
do
as
with
a
the
whole,
male
yes.
champions either.
No.
It's just some people are thinking that way, and I'm like, because
well, people are stupid.
I do read a lot
No,
of
they're only-
comments,
I
and a
said
lot of
it.
people are mad that she's champion of both, and I'm like, how,
No,
why?
Why?
they're
The build-up is perfect.
they're blaming the champions right now because Kofi's champion. That's the only way they can get the racists can get away with it without appearing racist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
superstar Billy Graham.
And he won't take his steroids. So
Yeah.
Billy
and
Graham is openly racist. He
to
doesn't
be
give a
honest,
shit.
I would say the storyline revolving around Becky Two Belts right now has been the best thing on TV right now for
Yeah.
WWE.
yeah.
You know. So,
agree.
After Bray Wyatt,
And I hope I'm wrong. I honestly do.
yep.
All right, so then that leads us into our first of the two men's championship matches.
Jesus Christ, this was
Universal Championship match.
Yeah,
Gonna be a hell of a match.
I already
Yes.
said. I was like, this
Champion
is
Seth
still the show.
Rollins versus AJ Styles. Whoever wants to take it, and let's go.
All right. I love Seth Rollins. I scream burn it down every single time he comes out. But we all know in this table that I am a huge AJ Styles mark.
Yep.
Really?
I think they know out there too. Yeah.
I ride or die with him. I don't think he's gonna win, but I'm gonna pick him anyways.
That's
When they say they don't want none, she wants some. I'm just looking.
I mean,
notice she didn't deny it.
Yeah. Hashtag facts.
he's a very good-looking older man,
That hair in slow
and he has
motion.
like, and he, yeah, man.
With that
he's-
soccer mom
I'm
hair.
so jealous of his hair.
Maybe he's born.
I'm
with
like,
it.
man, I wish I had.
Maybe
hair
it's
like
maybe.
that.
Whoa. Let's be sensitive to hair issues here, okay?
L'Oreal because he's worth it.
I honestly, I think
I
I've
got
told you
you.
this. He's
Swear to
my
God, it's
favorite.
Herbal Essence.
He is my favorite wrestler right now, currently.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
he
he's-
is phenomenal, literally phenomenal
And he's
to watch.
easily one of the best in the world, if not.
gosh.
He
Could be
make a
trusting
comment.
And
argument
Seth
for
is.
it.
I'm not saying Seth isn't, because Seth is probably one of my, top 5 right now. But yeah, it's AJ Styles. I'm sorry. It's either it's you go against AJ Styles or Jay Lethal. I'm sorry, you're gonna lose. At least in my heart.
In my heart of hearts.
All right, I'll go next.
Oh, thank God.
I think Rollins is going to retain. I think it's going to be a great match.
It's gonna steal the show.
It may even end up with some shenanigans just
I
to
think this
keep
is gonna be the
AJ
main
from
event.
taking a pin. But I don't think there's a reason to take the belt off Rollins yet. And again, AJ's great. He can have the title and carry your show as he did for SmackDown,
Yep.
or he can just be a top guy and like it can go either way for him. So I think for right now they're going to keep the belt on Rollins for a while, but I expect like match of the year candidate easily.
For sure.
Do you think
So-
that AJ would win because to like get ratings?
I don't think that would change it though.
No, it depends on the story.
I mean, it might do a small bump,
Yeah.
but ratings aren't going to improve until the overall thing
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
improves. So it might do a small spike,
And
but
do you think this would be the main event? I think it'll be the main event.
Oh boy.
That's hard to call.
I
That's
love
tough to
Kofi
call.
and Kevin, but I feel like
yeah,
this
I do.
would be the main event.
I think it will. I agree.
I feel like Seth and AJ
Possible.
will be the main event.
That's hard to call. I'm not sure, but that's hard. Yeah, but
Yes or no? Lesnar showing up during this match.
please God no.
No,
Start out there.
leave him out of this.
Isn't he already on a jet across the world for that other show?
Oh God.
Yeah, right.
Maybe.
Supposed to be
Who
going
wants
there.
to finish JC?
First of all, I wish they would have waited till SummerSlam to do this match. I thought that would have been perfect for it.
That
would
Not to
really-
say that
yeah.
they, but I do have an idea that they will get to SummerSlam with this match.
Probably stipulation.
Please
Iron Man match.
don't put
Oh.
Lesnar in. Oh, wow.
Tommy, why'd you just do
Based
that?
on
Iron
that,
Man match,
since they're
wow.
going to do this again, I'm going to go with Rollins for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also because I don't recall, was it AJ that didn't want to go to Saudi Arabia? No, that was Daniel Bryan.
Bryan.
Daniel
Yeah.
Bryan, Sami Zayn, and John Cena usually are the ones who refuse.
Yeah, Sammy obviously
Well,
can't
Sammy
go.
can't.
Sammy can't. Yeah. Well, it's not that he can't.
It's
he
a political
it's-
heritage
it's
thing.
better and
Crap.
safer
And
for
then
him.
Rusev
Yeah.
was going, then he wasn't going, then he
he
went
is
back
going.
to going, now he's going.
Yeah.
I'm going with Rollins for now, and only because I think they're going to do this again in Toronto in August at SummerSlam, and that's going to be where AJ takes it. Rollins,
I can buy that too.
Rollins,
Yeah, too.
being the Beast Slayer, he really needs to hold on to this for a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yes,
So
I agree.
give this title
Right.
some prestige.
I agree. I just, right or day.
Yep.
No, I got you. Tommy.
Okay, I'll go Seth Rollins too.
Right.
I do.
Tina, ride or die.
She's
Lone Wolf.
She's lone wolfing this. I do like the idea of
Sounds like
a
Shakira. She-Wolf.
former ROH world champion versus the guy who never won the damn belt. That I don't know why that still irks my ROH heart that AJ Styles never won that belt.
It's a shock.
But
He wasn't. Was how long was he in ROH?
he was in ROH for off and on for
Good,
years.
wow.
He was
But he was on and off. He wasn't.
He was-
there
Same time he was
consistently?
there with TNA.
Yeah, he was on their
Oh,
he was on
okay.
their very first shows. He had the NWA World Title there a few times, defending it. And then when a whole ROH TNA thing split, then he went back when they got back together. And he's there. He's been their
was
tag team
TNA's fault.
champion. Like, yeah, that
I
was-
mean, I remember him on there. For some reason, I always thought I saw him in sporadic.
He was never really Ring of
Moments.
Honor champion because he was already holding those titles in TNA.
yeah.
So
That's probably
that's kind of the
why.
main
And
thing.
another thing is, right when he was trying to win it, that's when Samoa Joe was on his unbelievable hot streak of
Yeah.
the longest reigning and making the belt a
Right.
world title in the first place. That's why.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, so of course, me the ROH
makes
historian
sense.
over here. So, but Seth Rollins, this one, because I think, like you guys said, I think he's just going to keep it for a while. Conquering or slaying the beast or whatever. But God, I hope Lesnar doesn't show back up.
Yes,
So this will be
please,
my
man.
one thing that's wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe.
I hope. It's still
All
wrong.
right. Then last match on the show is the WWE Championship. Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens. Kofi is the champ.
Oh boy. Tommy,
Tommy, it
I was
seems
going
like
to
you
say
want to
Tommy
announce
should go
it.
first on this.
Kofi, because as much as I love Kevin and I think he will win it someday, him losing now would make no sense. None would. Okay, first of all,
That's why it makes perfect sense.
Do you think
I
somebody
refuse to
cashed
think
in?
with my McMahon here. That would make sense actually because
Somebody cashed in?
somebody cashing in that I would actually be okay with because that
Drew McIntyre right now is based,
Yes.
That
based
would-
on who you picked.
actually, yeah, that
What
would.
if Drew McIntyre cashed in on Kofi and won it that way, that I would actually let go because that would make sense.
What if it was
Well,
Sammy?
here's the interesting part.
Sammy too, actually.
Here's the interesting part. Since they did the brand split, if whatever you win,
Brand
the Money in the
split.
Bank brand split, you can only cash in for the title of the show that you're
Right.
on.
Yeah.
How does this wild card rule change things?
I
We
think
don't know. They'll make it up Monday when they get or Sunday when they get to the
I
show.
was just gonna say that. Damn it! You beat me
I'm
to
sorry.
it. No, you're the host.
Because
That's
Andrade's
all right.
Oh,
gonna,
yeah, that's right.
Andrade's gonna win, and he's gonna cash in the WWE Championship.
Yeah,
The-
well,
You're
that was
like,
based
wait,
on what
what?
you picked. Yeah,
He's
She's
going to
all picking a
R-Truth it and
SmackDown.
cashing it on Becky.
Yes.
That damn it! Why is it our truth?
Why is it our truth in the Money in the Bank? Dang
Why
it.
is it, he's gonna show up with the women's?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
He is going to show
was
up and be like, I'm ready for the Rumble.
Yes.
I remember that year he pulled the ladder out. That was so great.
Yeah.
But okay. Also, so like they've been building Kofi up as kind of a strong champion though, and like to him to lose it. I mean, because like who did he defended against Daniel Bryan when he came back? Then had a triple threat with AJ Styles and Sami Zayn and won, and then to lose it to Kevin Owens. No offense to Kevin Owens, but that
No, I
would make
know
any
what you mean.
sense.
He did get-
But then again,
He did get beat up by Kevin Owens and Sammy.
yeah, it's true. And then
So
again,
they're starting to make him look a little weak.
thinking like a
A little
McMahon.
bit. Thinking like a McMahon, yeah.
Nah, I'm going Kofi.
I'm still going to go with Kofi.
You guys are
Everyone
Kofi,
going?
okay? Mike.
Oh,
Tina.
wow. What's JC?
Because
JC?
of the way shit has been booked recently.
JC.
First of all, how much longer is Big E out?
I think for like, I don't know.
Supposedly,
several months, wasn't it?
supposedly an article I just read recently. You know how I read everything.
Yes, you do.
He is out till 2021. Because this is his 4th knee surgery.
What?
So
I
he
did not
doesn't
know
know how
that.
long
I thought
it's
it was
going.
like a 6-week thing.
No, apparently he was on a something, and he said that he was gonna hopefully be back by 2021.
That's like
Jesus.
over
Because
a
he
year.
was saying that he was gonna have to put something in his knee or something because
That's
of,
like retirement.
because it's
at
his
that point.
4th freaking knee surgery.
I didn't know it was that
Now
many.
I don't know if this is a legit thing, but he apparently had a interview, and that's what he said, that hopefully I'll be back by 2021, maybe sooner than that.
Or maybe that's because he wants to start a family with Becky Lynch's mother. I don't know if you'll say.
It's great flirting going on, by the way. I love it.
I thought he was. Well, he always flirted with Natty's sister too.
I mean, I
on
think he's
Total
just,
Divas.
he's Biggie.
I mean,
Cougars, man.
you could also flirt with Alexa Bliss's mom because, dang, that woman hot. She's still married. So Becky Lynch's
So I was
mom.
gonna say, so is Becky
I
Lynch's
know,
mother.
always stop him. The thing is, ever since this got booked, which was a great story to get booked, by the way, it went from Big O to turning. We all knew the turn was going to happen.
We knew I'd like a little bit longer, but yeah.
Only because whether Rollins or AJ wins, that is a face champion. And I think Vince wants a heel champion. My gut has been telling me I can't find any reason why Kevin Owens doesn't win. This.
Ringside News: Biggie says he might return to WWE by 2021 or 2022 after the injury.
Crap.
Jeez.
So back to my pick. I'm going to go with Kevin Owens.
Forget you.
I know Kofi had his moment, and I would love to see a long title run. But there's just one of those things, the way stuff has been booked recently. My gut feeling is that Kevin Owens is going to win.
Forget you.
All right.
So
And I think maybe Sammy will come out and help him if he loses. The
very,
tournament.
very good, very possibility. And even if Sammy wins the Money in the Bank briefcase, which I picked, and somehow Kofi wins, because Sammy seems to just do whatever the hell he wants, he'll probably cash in on Kofi at that point. You know, so
Does Sammy come out?
And
with
he'll lose. No, I'm just kidding. I
Does
don't
Sammy
know.
come out with the taser via Scott, a la Scott Hall?
Oh Jesus!
Oh jeez.
jeez.
Killing the streak.
Yeah. So stupid.
All right, guys. Well,
What was worse, the taser or the electrified cage in TNA?
Taser.
taser.
I don't know. That's
Well, the taser, the person does it to you. The cage, you know what's going on.
No, just the way that they
Well,
executed their
also
electrified
because
cage in TNA was
That's
BS.
literally how they.
Yeah.
But the taser was.
I
How
think
they
the cage
ended
in
the
TNA was
streak.
worse.
That's
Yeah, I
what's-
know. All right,
So-
sorry.
All right, guys. So those are our picks. Let us know what you think in the comments. Give us your picks. See if you can beat us. See if you can beat me, because I'm really good a lot of the times, but then sometimes I'm not. So.
Yeah, you've been good this year so far.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to move on to some other wrestling news. The first thing we have listed here, we all know that Dean
What a
Ambrose, he ended his time with WWE, and literally the day apparently his contract ended, like at midnight,
5 minutes after.
John Moxley emerged with the promo video.
Yeah,
I wonder if he's been down there in Mexico with El Generico and Kevin Steen with Raising the Orphans.
I think he was helping them for a bit. I
This-
think
Okay.
it was just,
this after we recorded our Impact recap, I believe it was. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
We recorded that Tuesday. The very next day, this promo hit the John Moxley Twitter account that had basically long been dormant.
Did
Or
he
it
ever-
was the Dean Ambrose Twitter.
Well, right, but he used it like once or twice his whole WWE
Basically,
tenure,
yeah.
right?
I don't think it was a blank.
Dean said he created a Twitter because they forced him
They
to
told
make a
him to,
Twitter,
right.
and he hasn't done anything since like 2012. So then this video appears. First of all, people speculated that this is a WWE work. Sorry, BS.
No. Yeah. It's not.
I don't think you're going to tear down a whole character you've built up to rebrand him as something else.
Especially something from the Indies that he
Yeah.
had. Yeah.
But the production on this was great. These going back to, honestly, the metaphors, breaking down the wall,
Getting chased by a big dog.
big
Yeah.
dog in the yard. I think he's on good terms with WWE because he finished his contract. He did what he's supposed to do.
Right.
Um,
He didn't. Well, obviously not on social media complaining and stuff.
No, he's not out there doing that.
The eighth last final match of the Shield.
One thing
no, really. No, this Sunday.
Finally, this one's the last one.
the
for
day
real.
when this promo came out, like on Busted Open Radio, this is all they talked about.
Right.
And Bully Ray said on the show, I feel like when I'm watching Dean Ambrose matches for the last few years, he's mailing it in. And I could kind of see that if you go back, like he's not completely motivated. But he's still performing. He's still doing good
Yeah.
matches. He even referenced the WrestleMania 32 match against Lesnar, and my thought was like, no, that wasn't really his fault. Lesnar just didn't want to do shit.
Yeah.
Then he matched with Lesnar.
No, yeah, but Ambrose even said as much on Steve Austin's podcast. He was so disappointed
I'm just saying
because
that's any
they
match
had
with Lesnar
such
because
this
he
great
doesn't do
build.
anything with anyone.
I was looking forward to this hardcore style, Lesnar getting bloodied up, if you will, and Lesnar didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
So that wasn't really Ambrose's fault. But
I don't know why they still book him, Lesnar. I mean, anyway.
I think he had just been kind of tired of the way he felt, kind of trapped. Plus, if they shit on Ambrose, they're going to lose his wife, who's been like one of the biggest commentators they have.
Right.
She's so popular. So
yeah,
Moxley, I'm very excited to see what he does. I love that he brought the barbed wire out and everything, and then the references to Double or Nothing.
Yeah. Well, there's that, but
I
he's
wouldn't
also
doubt
been
that.
booked for his first indie match in like June. Is that right that I heard?
That's indie. I guess I haven't
But
checked.
okay.
Where's it at?
No, I don't remember offhand, but I thought I saw a report saying he's been officially named for his first show, but maybe I'm wrong.
If he doesn't show up at Double or Nothing, I could very easily see him. No, they would save that for Punk. I think he could show up in Jacksonville. A Double or Nothing is perfect for him. Why I mentioned Punk
agree.
is that on Labor Day weekend,
Right.
AEW is doing another show in Chicago, and I think that's where Punk's going to show up.
Under a mask or just punk?
Punk.
Okay.
Punk.
Maybe take the mask off.
Moxley could show up in CZW. That's his old stomping grounds.
I wouldn't doubt he shows up there, but I think AEW. I don't know how they're going to work that out. He could work
Where's
both
Double
shows.
or Nothing?
Double or Nothing's
Las
in Vegas,
Vegas.
Las Vegas.
which is where he lives.
This is where he lives. Yeah.
Yes. So Double or Nothing seems more likely.
As Tina would say,
Could be the over budget battle royal. Who knows?
That make you go?
Exactly.
That could be the over budget battle royal, but I'm very excited to see this, and I'm excited to see the mind of Moxley, his creative mind, how with no walls in his way, he's got freedom. How is he going to run the story?
Yes.
So he's going to make himself a bigger star
without
before he
any
goes
big
back.
dog chasing him.
Yes,
And I don't think that was meant as any.
I don't think-
Were you saying
specific
that
thing
Punk-
because
you
I
think
think they
Punk's
really
gonna
were
show up?
close.
promo of the year though. In
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
promotion, that definitely is promo
Were
of
you
the
saying
year.
that Punk was going to show up?
AEW is running another All in Chicago Labor Day weekend.
But he's still in contract with UFC, so I don't know if that's true.
Yeah,
Is he?
but
Yeah.
Oh.
but he's doing commentary mostly.
Right. So-
And Dana White might let him.
Dana will let him go if he wants to
Yeah,
get into
that's true.
wrestling. So yeah,
All right.
Well, we'll see.
I don't know what y'all thought of the promo. What y'all think?
No, the promo was awesome. Like it
And
was.
what y'all speculating on that too?
My speculation is that he's just gonna come back as John Moxley, where he's like essentially got the whole no chains on me, no strings on me rather, excuse me, kind of thing going on. And I do think the big dog thing was just like him messing with Roman because
Yeah.
I'm sure Roman gave zero Fs about
Sure.
that, and I'm sure even if he did know, like did see it, I'm sure either Dean told him beforehand or said, "Well, watch the promo," and he like laughed his ass off. I was like, "That jackass," but because to me that was like the best thing about the Shield. There was like no real animosity. If there was any kind of anger among them, it was because booking was weird.
Right. And
Yeah.
if you've ever heard any of them do interviews, they talked about they didn't want to break, like they wanted to break them up sooner. And they were like, no, we can't do that. And then, they finally did with the Rollins turn, but they were trying to do it earlier and they're like, you can't break us up. They kind of wanted to be like the New Day in a sense that just like, we're going to stay
And
with
I
this
think they
forever.
could have done that. Honestly, I think they still could have reached the
I think
heights
could have
of
lasted
popularity.
longer.
Yeah, speaking of interviews, like that whole Shield last chapter, they showed them Michael Cole backstage interviewing him, and he was trying to kind of ease into the question, what is he doing after his contract's up?
Yeah.
And everyone got pissed.
Yeah, he did. I saw that.
That's
That was
none of your damn
pretty
business.
crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, all right. And in a way, you got a hint of a Moxley character there.
You did.
So
Hey,
part of
I'm
me was wondering if that was scripted that way, or did he really go off? Because I like
think he went off.
I like Seth's and Roman's faces made it look like he really went off.
yeah.
Well, also it was known that like the last few matches and things that he had to do, they would tell him you need to do this, and this, and he was just like, okay, I'm gonna do whatever I want, and he would just go out there and stay stuff
Like the
that
promo he was supposed to
the
cut.
Yeah, and then he cut
Oh,
promos. his
yeah,
own.
when him and Rollins kind
Yeah,
of.
he just said
But
slay the
that's-
beast, and that was it.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
that's what I'm saying.
That's what they need to get back to. That's what they need to get back. That's going to bring your ratings in.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But,
So
Oh yeah, absolutely.
let
if we wanna-
people show their creativity, and they're afraid
We'll
to do
talk
that.
about that after the next two things you have on here.
Yep.
So, all right. Next thing we got is the next NXT Takeover, which is their 25th show.
25th
It was
Takeover.
moved Takeover 25 to June 1st in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
gonna
They
move
kind
down
of had
a
to make
lot.
this announcement a couple weeks ago about the change because of the other show. Well, I guess we'll have to talk about. But this one so far. We have Gargano. Have these been
These
actually
have been
on
confirmed.
TV?
I don't know if they've been on TV, but they're confirmed.
Okay, yeah. So I just wasn't sure if actually, but through the tapings, it's been confirmed: Gargano versus Cole for the NXT Championship for the men's, and then Shayna Baszler versus Io Shirai.
Io Shirai.
Io
Shirai. I always say that wrong.
That's right.
With Baszler as the women's champ. So the 2 championship matches have been confirmed for that show.
This one kind of got shuffled around. As you guys know,
Yeah.
they were starting to shift to NXT shows being attached to the Big Five, as we call it.
Right.
Now. But obviously, they moved Money in the Bank up because they wanted to get ahead of Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
They were really concerned about Double or Nothing, which, by the way...
No, they're not concerned at all. This is everything I've heard. They're not worried about it.
Yeah, no,
okay.
not at all. Yeah.
Which, by the way, AEW, it's pretty much a done deal. They are TV deals with TNT.
Yeah.
So...
They're not worried. Hey, you guys, we don't do anything with. Can we pay you lots of money to just stay here and do nothing?
yeah,
Did you
right?
Did you see Being the Elite this week?
No, I haven't
yeah,
had a chance.
that
to.
Okay. It's okay.
Is that what they're joking about?
Yes. Peter, dude, it's literally the first thing that... So Peter Avalon and Leva Bates are supposed to be the librarian or
Yes,
whatever,
yes,
right?
yes, yes.
So Peter Avalon goes up to them, to the Young Bucks and says, I can't do this, guys. I thought I was going to be like the sole librarian. I don't want to do this, so I went out of my contract. And so Matt and Nick both say, oh, you want out? Well, you can't get out of your contract. You know what you're going to do? You're going to go sit at home and heal up. And the rest of it, they say, yeah, do you have any kids? Like, no, we should start thinking about having some. And you know what? We're going to double your salary. That's right. So go home. And he says, and Peter goes, shh. He walks up. He's like, we showed him.
So the Money in the Bank obviously
Which-
was originally thought to be in June. NXT would have been attached to that. Then
Right.
they moved it. It would have been the same weekend as this Super Showdown Saudi Arabia in San Jose. There's
Done.
conflicts.
Done.
Boo.
Florida. Now it's in Connecticut. At least they're getting a damn show, you know?
There is so much happening
But
with that right
They're
now.
getting their own weekend, which is
Yeah.
awesome on a
Right.
Saturday
That's
night.
true.
I was
That's
going to
true.
say, despite them moving this, it's NXT, so it's going to kill no matter what.
Yeah.
They always bring it no
Yeah,
matter
they
when
do.
they are. And I guess it's even better for WWE. They don't have to worry about them outshining the Sunday pay-per-view that it's going to be attached to. So
And it's in
Yeah.
WWE's headquarters backyard. So Vince, you have to watch this one.
he probably
We'll
won't.
get
Yeah.
to what I'm referencing later. Yeah.
By the
All
way,
right.
back to what Tommy just said about Leva Bates. I don't know if anybody saw on Twitter. She cosplayed as Cody.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I
And-
did. Okay,
and
I'm going to look that up.
Somebody sent it to Cody, and Cody's like, pictures, please. Cody retweeted it, pictures, please. And they sent a bunch of pictures and videos to him, and he was like, well done.
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
She looked pretty awesome.
That's so cool.
All right. Well, this next thing I'm only going to talk about because as a host, I'm supposed to.
I can talk about it for you
guess.
if you don't want to talk about it.
I just, June 7th is the
JC
WWE
wants a job
Super
right.
Showdown in Saudi Arabia. It's another one of their Saudi shows. We know all the controversy that gets connected with it and, the way WWE tries to sell it and the way a lot of fans feel about their connection with Saudi Arabia. But it is what it is. There's a show going on. And if this was 10 years ago, there's a pretty big match that they signed and set up. But, it's 2019. So this one is apparently going to be headlined by Undertaker versus Goldberg, which, 15 or
wow.
20-year-old me was like, hell yeah. But, 37-year-old me is like, okay, sure, guys.
Go ahead.
I'm actually thinking it'll be interesting, but only because Goldberg has kind of impressed me with his physique and his ability to still go in
He
the
still
ring.
looks good,
Yeah, but I think Undertaker.
I just saw him on the Goldbergs yesterday, by the way.
Yeah, it's-
We were watching one of our reruns, and he's on
Oh,
the Goldbergs.
that's so meta.
Go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry.
My
Sorry.
favorite tweet regarding this comes from PWI's Twitter account, Pro Wrestling Illustrated. They said maybe we should release 20-year-old copies of official PWI in Saudi Arabia.
Awesome. Well, you know what the first show they
Someone
did?
replied, Miami Vice #1 new show. Yeah.
Dang.
We've talked about it. Maybe there's a bit of nostalgia there. I don't know if they're on delay as far as what they see wrestling wise. I'm
That's-
sure they're
that's
up to
gotta
date with
be
I'm
it.
current
sure there
stuff.
is some, sure.
I'm sure they're up to date with current stuff, but they're fans of the older guys, the older talent, and they want these guys brought in, and that's the only reason Taker and Goldberg are taking the payday.
well, I'd probably take the payday at least.
I'm a little concerned for
DX
Goldberg.
versus Brothers of Destruction. But
I-
anyways, go ahead.
I hate to involve religion in it, but I'm a little concerned Goldberg going over there because it is a predominantly Muslim nation.
So I actually heard something concerning that when he was announced about possibly going over there. As odd as it sounds, because they're not as used to American things,
Uh-huh.
they may not realize that here in America or in English-speaking world that Goldberg is considered a Jewish name.
He is legit Jewish, though.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But, but they may not be aware that Goldberg is something that's considered a Jewish name in English-speaking countries. Not, I assume they're going to do everything to make him safe and protect him.
Yeah.
But
to not bring that up, obviously.
Right. Yeah. So.
Okay.
So I get, he's not going to do a Colt Cabana entrance apparently. So
It's funny.
All right.
No Scott Colton.
I'm gonna do what happened last time when they had the Super Showdown. I watched the Battle Royale and then I went to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because that's the only thing I wanted to
Titus
watch.
Young falls under the ring again. Yes or no?
Yes, please.
all the way to the other side.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so also in this there is a 50-man battle royal.
Unless he runs out of the ring, stops, slowly walks towards the ring again,
I wouldn't doubt it.
and it's like gets in, like, okay,
and then gets eliminated.
yeah.
But the interesting part is they do have Lesnar booked on this match. They haven't announced the match yet,
Right.
but he is on this match.
The only other one
show,
apparently
excuse me.
announced is Triple H versus Randy Orton. So
Yeah.
what was that, WrestleMania 20?
Okay, I
19,
will
20.
definitely pick Randy Orton, but Triple H should probably bury him.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
In
So,
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
All right. So then moving on, we kind of have the next thing is the state of the WWE, and we. I'll let JC actually kind of go in on this because I know one of our friends sent us a message, but then you listened to the podcast where it came from.
Yeah.
So if you want to kind of get started
let me
on
kind
that.
of pull this up. It was a long post.
It was a long post, but
So this kind of goes to Wade Keller's recent podcast. He does a podcast. He has a couple of podcasts. One that he does after like every show, recapping a show. They're kind of long and extensive, by the way. So if you're going to listen to it, they're like 3-hour podcasts.
jeez.
There's been a lot with what's going on. Obviously, it's no secret ratings are down. This is kind of a weird situation because they just signed a deal with Fox to bring SmackDown onto Fox. And what we learned in this podcast is no matter what happens, SmackDown is on Fox through the duration of this deal. They cannot move it to FS1. So that's not even an option.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now, they feel like maybe there's something that I don't think there was a question in there, but they feel like once they move on to network television, the ratings are going to jump. But the biggest thing is like there's so many writers, like 30-something odd writers writing. Everyone's blaming writers, blaming creative for what is going on. But it's really not their fault because Vince is just changing stuff and wanting to do his own thing. The whole wild card thing that we mentioned earlier, he came up with that that wasn't even an option that day.
The day
just come
of.
up with it that
The
day.
day of.
And I see why NBC Universal USA wants the top stars on Raw. Fox wants the top stars on SmackDown.
Sure, you're two different stations now. So.
Yeah, so your competitors. This is the part of Fox that's not owned by Disney, so we don't have to worry about that. So, the wild card rule is a way for them to, I guess, please everybody. They've kind of been moving away from their breaths, but anyway, leading into WrestleMania season. So my issue though is like with some of the basically what happened on this podcast. A guy called in. He has a friend that works for WWE who is a writer, and he didn't mention any names or anything, but he just leaked. There's a lot of frustrations in the company. The biggest of which is Triple H. He's been very, very frustrated. Vince, in essence, doesn't even watch NXT, doesn't even know it exists, doesn't care, maybe watches a little bit of TakeOver.
I bet he doesn't watch 205 Live either.
I don't know if that's true or not because, when people were chanting on one of the NXT shows, he tweeted that, I'm watching or something like that. Maybe he could catch him
He was
all.
like, no, literally,
wasn't
just
that
turned it on.
Yeah.
It wasn't the UK show though.
Yeah, that's right. It was NXT UK.
Yeah.
Because they always chant like
yeah.
insane.
So I don't know. It's definitely worth the listen. Check it out. Someone paraphrased it on some news sites. You can check it out for yourself. Some of the highlights I mentioned. We mentioned Dana Brooke, been the hardest worker for 3 years, goes to Performance Center. Creative will pitch something for her, and she gets nothing up until recently when she was in the Money in the Bank.
Right.
These creative people are coming up with ideas.
Which makes me now realize that that's probably why Alicia Fox with her crazy gimmick didn't take off like it did.
Yeah, he
They were
mentioned
building that up like crazy.
he offered
Yeah.
to tell Wade Keller some stuff
pun
off air. He
intended.
didn't want to, some of the storylines they had. Apparently, they had some great ideas. Neville apparently walked out, and there was a crazy shouting match with Vince McMahon back and
I
forth.
would have loved to see that.
If anyone's got video,
But nothing about that shocks me.
No,
Like,
but-
that sounds
But
like that was supposed to.
jacked Neville, yelling with old Vince McMahon. I would have loved to see
that is a good inspiration.
with his accent. I mean, I hate to say it like
Yeah.
that.
What's wrong with you, Vince? I do it everything.
Here's the main one I got out of it. It says Vince wants suggestions from everyone, but it never gets on TV. 99 out of 100 times you can come up with an idea for Vince and it won't be used.
The biggest thing I
That
hated too is
sucks.
that they said they're writing for an audience of one.
Jesus,
They're
that's
not
just-
worried about the people watching. They're not worried about the people in attendance. All they care about is Vince has to like it for it to happen on TV, which I don't get it.
And whether the guy's right or wrong, I feel like watching the product, you kind of feel like that's pretty accurate though, because the things are not consistent with what they do. They've been all over the place. The minute the show seems like something's not working, he just flips everything. Comes up with a wild card, just like the Superstar Shakedown has usually been 2 days. It's the Raw and the SmackDown, and then you move on.
Yeah.
They kept the next 2 weeks are like, oh, so and so was actually moved back to this show. Oh, by the way, this tag team got moved now, and it was just like
From what they said on the podcast, the whole Superstar Shakeup they had planned these changes 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And then it all got changed just because Vince wanted it different. Another thing that stuck out to me, Andrade went asking for like a legit push, and Vince told him he had to learn English. I have a bit of a problem with that. Here's why. And this actually
You
references
have a mouthpiece already.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
That's part one.
He speaks English and he has a mouthpiece.
Part
That's
two
like
is
Vince.
Asuka
Jesus.
and Kyrie saying don't need Paige as a manager. I'm happy to see Paige on TV, but it makes no sense that
Kyrie
you have
speaks English.
Kyrie speaks great English. Asuka's English has gotten so much better, and if your issue is that they have an accent, well, okay, Paige has a British accent. What's your thing with that? I'm happy Paige is on
Paige
TV,
here.
but it makes no sense to me that you have a British woman leading two Asians to the ring as a tag team called the Kabuki Warriors.
Okay, I was just gonna say. have
Okay,
you
yeah,
heard this?
seriously.
The Kabuki experience.
Oh yeah,
even New Japan stable names don't have to.
it's in your name,
Like-
World Wrestling Entertainment.
I'm just sorry. How bad do you think he wanted like geisha in the title there?
Oh, God.
Vince.
Hello.
Dude, it probably
Hello.
pissed him off that he couldn't get it.
Hello, going back to the tournament. What was it? The tournament of the world tournament of,
World Cup to the
Oh,
best
the
of the
World
world.
Cup.
and everybody
It
was
was
from the United
American.
States.
And it was taking place in Saudi Arabia.
I was like, "There's nobody from another country."
And then the guy who won wasn't even in the tournament to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. And
it was the owner's
Vince's
son.
Yeah.
That's like the joke about like American sports when they win the World Series or the World Championship.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
they're like,
that's
oh,
different.
No, I know it's just a joke. Like, that's what it reminds me
Yeah,
of.
I know. No, but I my thing is like it's World Wrestling Entertainment. Getting over being a great champion, being a great wrestler, knows no language barriers.
Yeah.
And it's a different world. Like you want people to speak perfect English with an American accent. It doesn't happen that way. I'm sorry, Shinsuke Nakamura is over. You have an issue because he's got broken English. He speaks great English, to be honest with you.
And his broken English is hilarious.
It is
Oh my
great.
god.
And
And he
also-
works well with it. Kyrie
and-
Sane speaks great
And
English.
plus, like with him, his mannerisms, his face, like
Yeah.
he conveys so much in the movements and stuff. You don't need to have full promos from him. Besides,
And go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, we don't need 25-minute promos because God, we've got.
I mean,
beaten
you
to death
pushed
with
a
those
guy
over
named
there.
Ryback who barely spoke.
It's true.
Barely could speak at all.
Barely could walk.
But look, he found
You
the
go
secret.
back and watch.
I'm just saying.
Go back and watch a backstage interview they did with Asuka and Kyrie, and how comfortable they were talking for themselves, speaking. It wasn't perfect English, but it was English, and they were so happy. Now go watch a promo now where Paige is doing the talking for them. They look depressed. They look sad. They don't get to be themselves. They don't get to express their creativity. Vince has this whole brass ring bullshit that he mentions when it comes to Cesaro, and everyone grab these brass rings. Sorry,
Cesaro should
you
be
don't
world
give
champion.
people.
Cesaro speaks like 4 languages.
It's got nothing to do.
Right.
It's like you basically he wants people to kiss his ass the way like John Cena
Yeah.
or Shawn Michaels
Or Randy.
or I mean, let's be honest. Steve Austin didn't kiss his ass, but he was just over. He kind of had to
He
run
made
with
him.
it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
same,
because of money.
kind of the same thing with Becky. She didn't really do that, but just kind of became
Kind of had
got
it was
over
organic.
But
The things are getting most over when
Sorry.
they're organic. It's a different era.
Kofi?
This is another
Kofi.
thing where he just doesn't want to let it go. Now, what do you think when the XFL does make its comeback next year? Does
Yeah.
Vince pull back on the reins on WWE?
Hell
Right.
no.
I've seen both.
wish.
I've seen some people think that he's going to go and take all his time, and then
because he's investing his own money into this.
Right, but then I've also seen some people saying it doesn't matter. He's not going to release these WWE reigns. So I don't know.
And this also goes back to we can mention Rusev and Lana. The stuff they're doing on social media just to stay in people's minds. Lana's changing her God knows how many times.
Their wigs.
Their wigs. I mean,
I'm
they
all their
don't
wigs,
matter.
JC.
Whatever it is. The most ring action that Rusev has seen recently was him taking a version of the People's Elbow from one of the Usos and then just being like electrified with it. That's like the only thing we've seen.
That was actually really funny.
But like, there's reports of I think they're trying to do this to get released so they
They're
can go to
unhappy.
I do too. No,
They're
I
very
definitely-
unhappy, and and if you listen to like Lillian's podcast, they talk to them and I forget where else I also heard, and he says, like I've tried, I've lost weight, I've gotten better with my speech talking, so that way Lana doesn't have to talk for me. I've done all these things they've asked of me, and still I'm, left in pre-show or in the back or backstage. And it's just like, what else more? I'm frustrated. That's what he
Day
said.
was so over.
Rusev Day was the
so
You
over.
totally
greatest
you
thing.
totally missed that.
The
Yeah.
revival doesn't want to renew their contract, so
And
we're going to put them
then-
in stupid storylines.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you just like put aided English into commentary,
And
which I understand he's hurt or something, but like the whole time when he was singing for him, like, come on,
And
that
I
totally.
don't know if these
That was
reports
awesome.
are true, but I've heard reports, and this is probably far fetched. I don't know how true this is that some wrestlers are actually trying to get caught with banned substances so they can get out of their contract, and Vince is not letting him go.
I heard
So-
that. Like I feel like that might have been an exaggeration.
Bro.
It's
of
probably an exaggeration.
People, no, but like people are legitimately trying
They all
to
just
get
went to
fired
Matt
out
Riddle.
of their contracts.
Let's
but
be
like
honest.
the social media stuff, probably not.
You gotta love
banned
the internet.
substances,
I don't know
but-
if it's real or not, but it wouldn't be too far fetched.
Yeah.
Vince, if that is true, Vince is panicking because he hasn't had competition. He doesn't understand.
I mean-
he wants the easy street. He wants the monopoly. He wants to hoard talent. Your shows were great when you had competition. WrestleMania was great when G1 Supercard was your competition.
Yeah.
NXT was great that weekend, but
And that's-
everyone was talking about G1.
just
Yeah.
like the whole thing with Sasha, like he's basically holding out on her. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, I'm not gonna let you quit, and it's like she's like, well, I'm not gonna go back. So how long is this gonna last?
It's another CM Punk thing.
Yeah, and
know?
it's crazy, and she goes on her Instagrams and posts pictures in color, but when she posts pictures of herself, she posts them in black and white because I guess she doesn't want anybody to know that she colored her hair. It's back to brown or black
Her hair
or
was
whatever,
extensions anyway,
which
but
is
yeah.
fine. It's just one of those things where like you have all this talent available to you and you
Yes.
just blow it.
He wants to let people go on his terms, which isn't right.
Well, yeah, he
know?
wants to control everything, and
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about this before. Like she just said, they have an abundance of talent.
Too much.
A, they can't use it all, and then B, they use half of it like poorly. So
It's not like you're paying their medical bills.
For real.
We went
Can we
through-
can we actually look up how many wrestlers are currently employed by WWE?
I want to say I saw somewhere it was close to 300.
That is
between
way too many.
Comment down here if you know. Let's
between
see.
everything.
That
in
is
all
way too
seriousness.
many.
I mean,
No,
it's-
I agree.
You should be able to hit maybe 100.
let's be honest.
That's it.
These people, there's alternatives out there, and Vince doesn't like it. New Japan is stepping more and more into the States. They have a show coming up in Dallas that Tommy's going to be there.
But it also helps that he doesn't, give insurance.
Yeah.
He just pays them a salary.
AEW, the TV deal, and they're hiring him as full-time employees with benefits.
Okay.
Yeah.
I read something that may not. I read that not all the wrestlers will necessarily get health insurance. Just those that are hired as full-time employees, like the Bucks, like Cody, where
Yeah.
they're also working like in the office as part of it. Okay, well, I just felt like a lot of people were saying that all the wrestlers are now getting health insurance, and apparently that's not
If
exactly
they're hired
true.
full-time. If they're part-time, probably not.
Right.
You're not
But
required
like
to.
when we say
part-time.
full-time, I mean if they're only wrestling and not doing office jobs, kind of like I don't
But I
think
also
they're
heard-
going to be getting insurance.
But I also heard that they're getting paid a lot better.
Oh no, I believe
Yeah.
that.
No, yeah, there's
I
a lot of
think-
money in it.
But I just because I've heard that a lot, and I
So
read
that means,
that. So I
that
wanted
means
Well, see-
probably the females will be paid
But
just
see,
as equally.
here's the thing though. There
No.
could be varying
They're gonna
levels
pay.
of what insurance could be.
That's true, too.
They could be like not okay. The report is like, oh, now everyone's no. Maybe they all could be, but it's not like it's not like the astronomical insurance everybody else.
Sure,
is getting.
sure.
And even if it's not like the best insurance, it's still insurance.
Yeah, and honestly, even as long as you don't have to start GoFundMe pages
For real.
every time you get injured.
Okay,
I feel
so
bad
That
for
goes
those
back to
guys.
the Julio Rush thing.
So here's my thing with all this is when you are he and I can't believe I'm saying this. Vince is pulling a WCW in the 2000s because he's got all these guys, he's not using them. But the difference between that and WCW 2000s is the inmates are running the asylum, and they screwed that up.
This is
Vince screwing that. I think I'd rather the inmates of WWE run this asylum.
just one crazy warden trying to run the
Yeah, for real. It's Shawshank Redemption. Anyway,
It's just Vince like set in his ways. He thinks that, 10, 15 years ago when I did, or 20 years ago when I read everything, everything was awesome. We had Attitude Era, we had all this other stuff, and everybody watched it. So of course I'm always right. So he probably thinks, well, I don't like what the writers are doing. I'm gonna do my thing because my thing works.
Right.
It doesn't work anymore.
That's a
Things
Vince
have
Russo
changed.
complex.
and so let me go ahead and put on my New Japan hat back on and be that guy.
Oh gosh.
So seriously, so here's where one reason why I think New Japan is destined to take over a lot of spots that WWE is just foolishly letting go. They're better at letting the organic growth of a superstar take over. Here's my prime example: Tetsuya Naito. We've all talked about LIJ a number of times at this table. Even if you don't even really know who LIJ really is all that much, you know of the name. But here's the thing: Naito was stuck in like this weird limbo. They weren't firing him, and he wasn't putting on bad matches. He just wasn't catching on.
Right.
Yeah.
He became the ungovernable. He completely embraced the LIJ thing, and it freaking took off. Mm-hmm. The fans were like, "What's Naito doing now?" And they're loving the gimmick so much. New Japan said, screw it, let's roll with this, and they gave him an entire faction because of that. And then not only did they give him a faction, he got more over than he's ever been, and they replaced the Bullet Club as like the number one selling thing in Japan. That's huge considering it's Bullet Club you're talking about. The same thing with Okada. That was a roll of the dice with that because they're like, there's no way he can actually get more popular than Tanahashi. That he did. It was like, holy shit, we have a cash cow here. I think they're kind of doing it with Jay White. Jay White's this perfect heel that they have coming up. Yeah, he doesn't have the belt anymore, but does that make him less of a jackass? Absolutely not. He's still got that perfect light. He still thinks he's owning the world, and that's what you want in a great heel. They're letting these natural, organic things happen. And also, we don't have the benefit of not having 25-minute promos. They have in-ring promos and stuff. Like when Tanahashi came back from he's announcing that he was injured, but he'll be back for the G1. They had a promo then, and they had the promos at the end of matches where they're basically challenging guys and everything. But that fits in, and you don't have President Meiji coming out every show declaring why guys he's picking are better. And because somebody asked him that, they asked Harold, he's the new president of New Japan, took over last year, I think, and they said, "Are you going to do an on-screen role?" And he said, "I don't think I need to. I think our wrestlers do enough of a great job, keeping the audience captivated. They don't need me to." And I'm not saying that you can't have that. I'm not saying that some companies can't do that, and have the authority figure show up and be a central figure and everything. No, that can work within reason. Yeah. This is beyond reason at this point. It makes no more sense anymore.
Honestly, I think we could go another 2 hours just
No.
But does anyone have any other final thoughts on this?
I just think that Vince is legitimately panicking, and he's just like, let me just do it because I know it'll work, but it's not working, and he needs to move with the times, and he's 70 something years old. He doesn't know what technology, all this stuff. People get bored faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My final thought is that if things don't improve, and everyone's panicking about the ratings, they'll be fine. It's WWE.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to.
They are getting competition. It will get better because of that. AEW is about to debut. New Japan, we said, is coming to America more. Impact is on its way back. It's really good. It's got good writing. It's got good storylines going.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't improve with all this, then CM Punk was right 6 years ago. He sat on that thing. He was. So
except I actually disagree about the part that his idiot son-in-law, because his son-in-law could
I
probably
think
save
Triple H.
His son-in-law could actually save WWE.
Triple H has some better storylines, obviously. To listen to writers,
and that was also because I think in storyline.
Yeah, I think
he said on the podcast he has some animosity with him, but
Because you
That
didn't
was
put him
also-
over that years
right,
ago
right,
when you
right.
should have. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
My final thought about this is just that as almost sad as it is, WWE is like kind of missing this mark. It's still a great time for wrestling overall. People
hell yeah.
people who think that WWE's falling off, this could be the end of wrestling. No, it could be the decline. I won't say end of WWE because I think they're too much of a actual established power
Yeah,
to
they're
end.
they're like a brand.
They're a brand, so they won't end, but I think they'll decline steadily. And this is just time for literally everyone else to step up into the
They're
plate.
getting a shit ton of money from Saudi Arabia for the next 10 years.
Yeah, they're not going
They
anywhere.
just signed a big deal with Fox. They signed another deal with USA for Raw. They're
fat
good.
and lazy.
They're
Yeah.
good. They're good.
Yeah, they're
and then the new whole tier WWE Network thing. We'll see how that comes out,
Yeah.
which will probably buy the most.
We'll see about that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, then we're just about done, but that leads us to the 1 minute warning. And since I'm hosting, I'm going last. So
Okay.
who wants to go first?
I'll go real quick.
All right.
Mine won't go in a whole minute, I promise you. I just want to say thank you to Dylan Dunbar for the interview last week. I've gotten
that
nothing
was
but
awesome.
positive feedback for it. One person over here saying that was her favorite one so far. Thank you.
The setting was awesome too.
My first time in the pit. It was pretty cool to be in the ring for that. It was awesome. It was great. It was great to catch up. A fellow Central grad. He's class of 09. I'm class of 99. It's like 10 years after me. I'm still feeling old, but yeah, I love the setup. I love the bring your own chair, bring your own beer. We'll probably try and make some shows this summer. May is just crazy busy.
I love
for
the
us.
enthusiasm too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
The youthful enthusiasm. The only thing I can say is, Dylan, please don't ever lose that. Don't ever become some grizzled young vet. You know, as they say. Keep your enthusiasm. Keep doing great things. You're helping wrestling grow in this city, and be patient with it. You're going baby steps, and then we'll turn to leaps and bounds. Good luck to you, and thank you again for the interview. I really enjoyed it. We'll see you soon.
Excellent. Yeah, that was a great interview. It really was.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Anybody else?
I'll go next.
All right.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Go.
Okay, so I've already mentioned this to JC, but I'm going to go ahead and bring it up again. New Japan Dominion is coming up, and that is their last major stop before the G1 Climax, again, which kicks off in Dallas, and I will be there. But it's already shaping up to be a great show. It's already shaping up to be just one of the things that will just salivate the American audiences, because, and I think the G1 already did that. Like, now people who would never watch New Japan or want to know more about it, and and one of the matches we're getting a rematch of, it's going to be Naito and Ibushi, I believe, are rematching for the Intercontinental Championship. But, that's a great way to bring in American fans again. Like, oh, wait, that match was crazy the first time. Let me see that shit again. And then Chris Jericho will be there at Dominion, and you could potentially see him win the IWGP Heavyweight Championship and bring it to Dallas for the G1 Climax. New Japan is just building up on this amazing stuff, and I just cannot wait to see what comes next. It's going to be awesome.
Excellent.
Sounds like another show Tommy's going to host.
Tina, you got something?
maybe
We'll find out.
probably
in
like
3,
10 seconds or
2,
something.
1, go.
Yes, I was telling him that I did enjoy the interview with Dylan. I just I loved his enthusiasm, and he was very excited about it, which you don't see that a lot with some other promoters and other people. And not saying that they're bad or anything. It's just his youthful glow, as I said, was
Yeah.
really nice.
Youthful glow,
Yeah, it
that's
was because he was just like, yeah, I'm just
Feel the
trying to
glow.
make everything. I like the fact that he makes everything affordable, because he was there with us paying the $10-20 for the shows. I'm hoping we can get to that more. Last thing, and certainly not least, tomorrow, which is technically Wednesday, because I don't know when this show is going to be aired, is my daughter's birthday. She'll be 5 years old, and happy birthday, Adi. I love you.
Happy birthday, goddaughter.
Yep.
One of the cutest wrestling fans ever.
And happy Mother's Day to this one. She's the perfect mom to our kids. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Perfect for our family. Mike,
All
you ready?
right. Yeah, just turn that
Ready.
off. All right. just put it down.
I'm starting.
I'm not
Just
going to
go.
go.
Starting it.
I'm not going to go super long,
Let's
but okay.
just look at
Well, I gotta preface this first of all. I know the band
you're
is
the
over,
host, you get
but
taxed.
this will involve spoilers for Endgame, and I'll make it connect.
here we
Don't
go.
worry.
There
But
should be spoilers with
but just so you know, I mean, it's been out a while, but just so you know.
Spoiler
if you-
alert.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing. When I watched Avengers Endgame, the last hour, I got goosebumps like 3 times. And it was all around Captain America stuff with the hammer, when he's standing by himself against the entire army. And then when he hears Sam come on on your left and the portal's open.
That was so cool.
So the reason I bring that up, though, is because I don't feel like I felt like that from wrestling in a long time. And don't get me wrong, I used to feel like that a lot. The first one that always pops in my head, and JC knows because I'm pretty sure I called him, was when Edge was champion and he was out in the ring on a Raw, and Batista came and kind of beat him up, and Batista bombed him. And then Punk was the Money in the Bank, also connecting to Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And he started coming down, and I was like, oh, crap. And I'm pretty sure I called
Remember
JC.
that phone call? You were so excited.
I was
driving home
because my whole point, and I've kind of mentioned this before, you get into the stories and you get involved and you connect. And I don't feel like I've connected. There's been a few things. The Kofi thing was fun. The Becky Lynch thing, was awesome. But I just, like we've talked about before, I don't feel like WWE lets them go the way they should. And all these different things that have caught momentum that they just kind of kill, like Rusev Day, like these other things. And it's just, and that's honestly why I haven't watched that much wrestling the last couple of weeks. Because between Game of Thrones, which were different feelings, but not horrible, and then Endgame, like the emotion of all of that and just those scenes were so awesome. Like it makes you feel something. And I want to feel that again with wrestling, but like everything we've talked about in this episode, you need to let the wrestlers be themselves and bring those stories to us. Mm-hmm. So that's my thing.
All right. Speaking of Endgame, we did just record our Endgame discussion on the Geekcast. That should
fortunately
be out,
missed that.
That should be out hopefully soon, later this week.
Okay.
It was myself, Steady, Eliud, Derek, and Rob via telephone, and we talked Endgame. And Eliud and Rob mostly didn't like Endgame for certain reasons, so they get into that discussion.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, let me know when that comes out so I can see why they were wrong. But.
Yeah. Actually, literally, I was thinking the same thing. But and also, I promised all you guys that I would post my thoughts on Superstar Billy Graham. It is now up on my personal YouTube channel, along with my review. I think I did a review reaction to Wrestling Dontaku, which was in New Japan just recently. So go check that out on my YouTube channel.
And I know you haven't watched a lot of wrestling. I do highly recommend watching Impact.
Right. No, I've heard that. And,
if you don't have the Pursuit channel, get on Twitch. It's on there for free.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, it's on Twitch. So.
All right. So then that brings our show just about to an end. So just a few things before we go. Yes. Let me have my briefcase. No. This Sunday.
Put it in front of my face again so you don't see me.
No, we won't go.
I have to see your beautiful face.
This Sunday is WWE Money in the Bank,
Lame.
May 19th at 6 p.m.
May 19th.
With the kickoff show starting at 5 from the XL Center in Hartford, Connecticut. And as usual, you can watch it on the WWE Network. And I'm sure if you've never had it and then you decide to get it, it'll be free. Otherwise, it's $9.99.
$9.99.
Also, don't forget to follow us again on Twitter at @CCG_WrestleCast and follow the Countdown City Geeks YouTube channel. Got it.
Nailed it.
Where you can find all these previous videos, plus all the Geekcast stuff. I actually was a part of one of a couple of the live shows where we talked about Endgame before it came out and then after it came out.
Your Endgame review, yeah.
You mean the technical difficulty show?
Yes.
That you all were about to get to the good parts, and then all of a sudden it was just
Thankfully, we didn't have those issues with our Endgame review
last
at
night.
Free Comic Book Day, so check that out.
Oh, yeah, that one too. Yeah, that was a part of. So that was
a long episode, but it was fun. Audie was on that episode too. Yeah.
All right. And then next week, I'm assuming JC will be back to hosting duties because apparently the briefcase only works for 1 week and one show. But Money in the Bank, I'll take it.
Can I borrow the briefcase?
Yes. I'll pass it down each week.
You have to go on a tournament in Brazil for that.
Yeah. I mean, that's right. You got to go down to Rio.
No. It's in Tokyo next week.
Oh,
God,
that's
pay attention.
That's the second annual.
Okay, when does it go to Mexico? I'll go then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can do the luchador one.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, so
don't get a bottle of piss thrown at you.
Chadora.
Dude, that was a crazy story.
No.
All right, next week we will be recapping the Money in the Bank. We'll be looking at how we did, giving it a rating, of course.
Yep.
And we're also going to preview AEW Double or Nothing because it is
believe
here.
it.
I was just gonna say that. I was like,
Let's get this going.
Almost feels like Christmas is like right now.
If you are not sure where these storylines will go for Double or Nothing, check out the Road to Double or Nothing. It's another YouTube show besides being the Elite, and they are basically recapping all the storylines.
Yeah, Road to Double or Nothing is the more kind of
That's
serious
the storyline thing,
yeah,
yeah.
serious line of it. Being the Elite's the straight up comedy.
And let us know, I don't know where you're going to mention this, but the Cody Rhodes promo.
for Dustin.
Yes.
God dang.
I think I'll mention that in the last couple of weeks, but that against
It's definitely worth
that
checking.
was amazing.
Oh wait,
Comment with your picks too, people. Yeah.
I think we forgot to mention one really important thing.
Can they even
What's
see
that?
you while you're talking?
One really important thing. Big congratulations to our friend Shane Taylor.
Shane
For
Taylor.
winning the Ring of
Yes.
Honor World Television
Heck
Championship.
Yes.
Dude,
You have it on here?
Yes.
Yep. It's there. It's
Bro.
there.
Yeah.
Good
Dude,
talk before we go.
People were so salty, and I was so happy
So
that they
great.
were bad.
It's so great.
I was.
Who did he beat?
It was a fatal 4-way. Jeff
So
Cobb. It was Jeff
Cobb
Cobb.
was the champ. He didn't
Cobb
pin
was the
Cobb.
champ.
but
He didn't
who-
pin Cobb. No.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
He's
I don't
champion.
care, dude. I was like, I
Who did he
was.
pin? Who did he pin? Who did he pin?
I can't remember.
Who cares? He's champion.
It was World of Worlds. I can't remember who else was. in it.
Yeah. I
Oh,
don't remember who
okay.
else is in it.
He,
So
he pinned that one guy.
Yeah.
that one guy.
That one guy.
That
Doesn't
one
matter.
guy?
He walked out with the belt.
Not Cobb, but that one guy.
Shane Taylor, congratulations. We're all
Congrats,
very
I
happy
was
for you.
so happy with that.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
May you have a long run with it. Do that title proud, man. Keep
And
the
to all the
machine
haters,
going.
may your tears be salty.
Yes.
They
Tommy just
be-
loves that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Tommy.
Especially because he's a friend of mine, and like to know he won that belt, and there people are so mad. Yes, continue with your
Well,
hatred.
hopefully
and
he
anger.
brings it with him to San Antonio, and you can get a picture with him holding that. 'cause
Which
that's
reminds
pretty
me, we
awesome.
didn't put that SmackDown will be here July 2nd.
SmackDown's announced for
yeah.
July 2nd.
Oh, yeah, that's
San
right. Yeah, yeah.
Antonio,
Well, we got time. We got time.
We got time to
more
get to
shows.
that. Yeah.
I can still say it.
No, you're. Look, it's my first time.
I know I'm not.
okay?
I know I'm not hosting, but gee,
Yeah, they're making a Texas wing here, so yeah.
Well,
JC's
I mean-
nicer to me. When
Well, gee, I wonder why.
I mean, Mike, I've known you for like 10 years now. Like, stop.
I've known JC for 20, but
Longer than
You
that.
would think you'd be
Yeah,
nicer
probably.
than me then.
I feel like you're trying to manipulate
It's
me
fine, Tommy.
now.
I've known Tommy longer. So shush.
You're a hypocritizer too.
Actually,
All right.
I think I know Tommy longer
All right,
than both
guys.
of you, than all y'all.
No.
So we're signing off here. We've got Tommy down there.
Thanks, guys.
We got the usual host JC.
See y'all next week.
We
Thanks for
got
watching.
his beautiful wife Tina,
Oh, thank you.
Very beautiful. Very beautiful.
Nice.
and I am #MMike.
Hashtag.
And remember,
Hashtag
heels
Matt.
and baby faces. Pro wrestling is real.
People
are
are fake.
We out.
Latest.
Oh,
Hashtag
done.
math. Woo.
So if you want to subscribe to the channel, click right here.
And if you want to watch more WrestleCast videos, I got 3 words for you. Click right here.